What's good, my lovelies? Lovely soul Empress here. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. So it's Sunday morning, and I'm really here to do subscriber questions, which I will do shortly. But I wanted to talk to the collective about something before I get started. Because I think that there's a lot of confusion online. Okay, so we're going to I'm going to talk to you about Sybil's, okay? Sybil's, or another term, some people like it, some people don't, the term witches. Okay, you feel down today? Let's see if we can change some of that. So let's talk about it. I want to talk about the archetypes of witches, and there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. Okay? Because a lot of people, they're coming into a new understanding of what spirituality means for them. Okay? And I see a lot of people dipping and diving into stuff, and, they get like an awakening. Okay? They get like an awakening. And they're trying, and I think it's important. Greetings, everybody. I think it's important that when you get your awakening, that you do a lot of research, and that you do take in a lot of different information about a lot of different types of spirituality. Now, why? Because what one person is called to may not be what somebody else is called to. And I'm going to give you an example for a minute. Let's say that you are somebody like myself, let's say Puerto Rican or Caribbean, right? Puerto Rican and Haitian, right? But you're very much drawn to Buddhism. Okay? Now, everybody in your family could be like, why Buddhism? Like, Buddhism doesn't have anything to do with our culture. Right? But this could have something to do with your soul path. So you shouldn't just go off of lineage. Let's start there. Okay? There could be like an important spirit guide or somebody that walks with you, an ascendant master who's trying to remind you, I remember the way, right? That, your life path, right? Because you take this soul contract on, and maybe you were a Buddhist or a monk or something, and then you're trying to get back to reality. Ooh, right? So trying to bring you back to, your path, right? That's one way of looking at it. Okay? So I feel like there's a period in time when you start, good morning, my love, and you start waking up to spirituality, over 35 years, right? So you start waking up to spirituality, and now it's time, the endeavor is to find out what's your lane. Okay, so let's start with that premise. Now, what happens is that as people come in, good morning, as people come into this awakening, they're trying to discern where they fall in the scale. What is it that I'm supposed to be learning? What would be most helpful for me? They could start in a point of reference where they see somebody doing something. It seems interesting to them. They feel like they should do that too. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. But I also feel like if you're all over the map too early, you're not really getting to master anything, okay? And one of the things I say is something you do over 10,000 hours, you're going to master. All right? So, there's that aspect, okay? Don't compare your spiritual journey to somebody else's. It's a good thing to have curiosity, to read up, to go on TikTok, put in the search bar, whatever you're looking at. That's good. But let's go a little deeper. A lot of people don't understand, whether they're male or female, the frequency of the divine feminine. And that is on purpose, because that has been hidden and made to be like secret information. And to come to your spiritual awakening is to be woken by the mother. You could break it down however you want to break it down, by whatever ideology you follow. But I'm telling you what I know. To get into spirituality, you have to open yourself to the mother. Okay? It is the cosmic womb. That is where, spirituality, the unseen, that is the veil. It is many things, but we'll just start with that, okay? So, I want to talk about the 3 archetypes as I see it. Other people will have other opinions. There are 3 archetypes. And then within those 3 archetypes, thank you for the gift, my love. Within those 3 archetypes, there are sub-archetypes. You understand? Okay? So I want you to think of it like in terms of a company for a second, just to give you an explanation of what I'm saying, right? So you would have like shipping, receiving, and billing. Those are 3 separate different departments. They do 3 separate different things. Within each of those, there could be several different departments, right? The shipping would be the order, right? Who packs the order? These are all separate departments. You see what I'm saying? Spirituality is like that as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 3 archetypes as I see them. Okay? And the 3 archetypes, we're going to name them into colors. Because in reality, there's no good, bad, right? There's as above and so below, meaning polarities or opposite frequencies. Thank you for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. Okay? It doesn't serve you to come into spirituality and whatever. Thank you, my love, for the love you. It doesn't serve you to bring into spirituality the concepts that you are leaving behind from other practices, whether it be Christianity, whatever, you were taught, okay? Or even if you weren't in a religion, right? Maybe you had no religion and you've opened yourself to spirituality, right? So when you bring in the concept of good and bad into spirituality, you're bringing in a frequency that does not match. We're talking about natural forces of the divine. Okay? So with that said, let's talk about the 3 colors for the 3 main archetypes as I see them. Okay? So one is white, one is black, and one is red. Okay? So what is white? White would be more angelic work, angelic gifts. Okay? healing frequencies, right? So let's say that you are opening yourself to spirituality. I feel like in the initial, you should be concentrating on the white archetype. The white archetype is learning foundational like frequency work. I feel like this is sound meditation, meditating, Reiki, even if you're doing, let's say, spell work, this would be in favor of healing frequency, right? Group meditations, right? You following what I'm saying? These are things that are in a healing frame. Okay? Now I'm going to come back to white because there's a reason why I'm breaking it down this way. Okay? Hey, super vibes. We're going to do the questions in a little bit, but I want to break down something, okay? So that's the white energy. The black energy serves a different purpose, okay? Let's take the black energy as shedding, okay? As things that are done in the dark, like the womb, right? As repellent, okay? These are pushing things away. I also feel like this is the second step, if you are so called, and we're going to talk about that towards the end. Okay? This is a deepening of the as above, so below. What I see sometimes is I see people who are just starting off, right? They do, maybe a month of research into white energy, okay? Which I'm talking about healing frequency, not color, okay? Not per the person's color. You got me? And they go and they start seeing some shit about, the black energy, which is about repelling, protection, those kind of things. And they're jumping in too soon when they haven't really fully understood that light frequency, that healing frequency, okay? That balancing frequency. Now let's talk about red, and then I'm going to give you the breakdown. Let's talk about the red frequency, or the red witch. And again, as I said in the beginning, there are 3 archetypes, and then under those archetypes, there are sub-archetypes. Okay? The red witch is elevated. Okay? Why? Because she has knowledge to work both in the white and the red. She holds a frequency of karma. She is a gatekeeper, male or female. We're talking about the goddess frequency or the divine mother, which a man can hold as well, or someone who's two-spirited, meaning, LGBTQ or whatever, right? So what I'm saying to you is that the red frequency is like a gatekeeper. Okay? They have the knowledge to work with both frequencies, and the divine has chosen them to be almost like a karmic scale. Okay, because they have elevated to a level of discernment to know when to use the white frequency and when to use the black frequency in the essence of the goddess. Okay? Now, what I see a lot, especially on TikTok, is a lot of people who just came in and they're learning their white frequency. And I'm not taking anything away from those. And I'm going to make a point about that. I'm not taking anything away from the white frequency. It's a beautiful frequency. To be any kind of healer, you have to have, come to that. Thank you for the ice cream cones, my love. Okay? But some people, they're just supposed to work in the white frequency. And if they put their toe in the black frequency or the red frequency, they get instant karma. Because that's not their wheelhouse. That's not part of their contract. Okay? I had talked about this, and it ties into what I'm about to say about the black frequency. Is, I had saw this one lady and she was criticizing like tarot readers who could read tarot and listen to rap music because she felt like it wasn't a light frequency and, that they don't know what they're doing. And my take on that, hello, my love. My take on that was that this, I will put this part on YouTube, yes, because that's why I wanted to do it before I did the subscriber section, because I'm going to make this portion a separate video for YouTube, okay? So back to what I was trying to say before I lose my train of thought. This lady was criticizing, tarot readers who basically could throw cards and listen to rap. And my feeling was, A, she didn't know what she was talking about. And B, maybe she is a witch that is supposed to, and remember, I use the term witch, but it's really Sybil. Right? And maybe her lane is that white frequency and she don't understand the dark frequency, but she shouldn't comment on it. You feel me? Because some of the most prophetic Sybils or witches or whatever term you want to use are black witches. And what I mean by that, again, I'm not talking about skin color. Okay? Hi, my love. I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about frequency of spirituality. Do you understand? They have accrued a knowledge that allows them to work in the darker realms. And there are people that need people who can work in the darker realms because there's shit that they have to get cleared. Okay? And thank you, April. And it's not for the layperson. You feel what I'm saying? So, then we'd all be running around in love and fucking light, with the demons too. And it's a misnomer to say, oh, well, if you're always in love and light, then there wouldn't be no demons. That's not true because there's as above and so below. So it was all created together. You would just be in an illusion thinking that it's not present. You follow? So we need, right? Yes, honoring the duality. Who do you think deals with the density of that frequency? The Black Witch. And again, I'm just using the color spectrum to assign a color to the frequency, not to the person. Just as I am assigning a feminine frequency to spirituality, regardless of what is between your legs. So please do not start with the coloring. Now, the red witch is needed most. Is needed most. Why? Because she's, again, like the gatekeeper. She holds the balance between the two worlds. She has license basically to work with the angels and the demons. Do you understand? She also has the wisdom to do so. Most likely, 9 times out of 10, if you're here with the red frequency, you've done this before. Very few people will conquer the red energy in one lifetime. Good morning, Maritza. Okay, so I'm going to do the personal questions in a few minutes, but I wanted to explain that to you. If you're a newbie, stop jumping off into everything. Okay? Stop jumping off into everything and learn one thing at a time. Believe me, when it's time to go to the next sector, you'll know. They'll lead you. Okay? I knew when I transferred into each. I knew when I transferred into each. And some of us, you might think, okay, well, you're going to start in white, you're going to go to black, and then you're going to go to red. That would be a traditional ladder, correct? But depending on how many times you've done this, your ladder may look different. Your ladder may look different. Okay? Maybe you had a lot of karmic frequency that, or situations. A lot of the people, let me just say this, a lot of the red workers and the black workers, and again, not talking about skin tone, they came in with a heavier, darker, more dense frequency. Their mission in the first part of their life, most likely before the Saturn return, their first Saturn return, which happens between 28 and like 31, right? It was a lot of hard shit. Could be foster homes, abuse, just like all kinds of shit. Why? Because they are having to come through for a bigger mission. And if they have, to master the black or the red frequency, they will have had to have endured some things first. So don't be so much in a hurry, right? Because it comes with a lot, right? So like for me, my journey started in the black frequency because I came with energies, whether this was, generational curses, things from my past life, whatever, we're not going to get into our individual stories. But the point is that I had to learn the black frequency first, which was the shedding and the protection. I didn't come to be a healer till later. You know why? Probably because I was not in the mental state to be fucking healing anybody but my motherfucking self. Right? Spirit knew I wasn't ready. Spirit knew I wasn't ready to lay hands and heal. Right? But I had a fire in my belly. And I knew how to bring the smoke. So that was the lane I learned first. You understand? Then later came the white frequency. After I had healed a large portion of myself, and we never finish healing. This is constant, you're always going through stages. So that's why I refer to it as present tense, right? But I came to a point where I was like, okay, now what's growing in me isn't so much want to stomp out, like, let's say, other demons or negativity. Now it was more about, transmuting and lifting that energy. You need to open up your third eye again. Yeah. Meditation. Okay? So these things come in stages, and I wanted to because listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't explore other things. You should read, you should do research, but just don't jump off into all kinds of stuff without understanding what you're doing and bringing in energies that you're not ready for. Spirit will guide you. Okay? If something's for you, you will keep seeing that. Okay? Then you should do some research. You should learn, right? Don't just jump off into things that you don't have a full understanding of. Because in your spiritual journey, sometimes you can leap ahead and then have to go back. Okay? So that's just a tidbit that I wanted to give the collective this morning. Okay? I'm going to be switching to my subscribers now so that they can come in and ask their questions. I am grateful to you guys who spent the time with me this morning. Okay? And I'm wishing you all light and love. Kinda a video game. Yeah, kind of like a video game. Exactly.